Welcome to the Beyond Sunday podcast, a podcast we put together here at Foothills Church because we believe that following Jesus was never meant to just happen on Sundays. The real test happens when we get back into our real lives, when we're back at the office or back in car lines or back in class. How do we apply the things that we're learning about Jesus? And so we put this podcast together. Sometimes we're going to double click on a Sunday sermon. Lately, we've been through the beginning of this podcast walking through a journey with a vision and a mission God's put on our hearts, this rescue mission to help more people find and follow Jesus. And we've got some pillars we've worked through. So hopefully you've listened to or watched some of the previous episodes. If you haven't, after this one, it'd be good to go back and check those out. But we've talked about three or two of the different pillars, pray first and move now. And today we want to talk about the third one. And before we dig into it, I wanted to talk about video games.
Okay.
I know.
Yeah, you're a video game person.
Well, not really.
I'm
there's
not.
There's video
I don't
gamers.
do video games.
There's gamers. I'm not like a gamer.
Oh no, this is
Yeah,
very true.
that's a
You're
whole-
a sport. He's a sports gamer. So
Yeah.
like you give him a
I play
football.
one video game. Period.
Yeah, you
It's just
kind of do.
college. I love college football. So,
This is
but I am curious. What video games did you play growing up?
I didn't play video games. My brother played Metal Gear Solid. Snake! Like, I'm not kidding.
I'm just picturing your brother.
Oh,
Sorry.
he's awesome.
Yeah.
He still has the ringtone on his phone with anyways.
Can you sing it for us?
The only ringtone I have in my head right now is Kim Possible of the doo 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 doo.
That's not a video game.
That's not. I'm sorry, we're rabbit trailing.
Oh, I love
My
it.
brother played Metal Gear Solid. I watched him play video
Kim
games.
Possible.
Okay,
Sorry.
wait. Sorry, I just hit the mic. But I didn't play video games like on controller video games. I played Roller Coaster Tycoon on your computer.
Oh my
I was
goodness.
obsessed with Roller Coaster Tycoon. Yeah.
Didn't you play The Sims though?
Oh,
yeah.
I did. I
Guilty.
forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my sister was really into it. And then
Oh, no, don't
we had
blame
to
your
fight.
sister. You
We
played
had
it.
to fight over. We only had one video game console. So okay, what games did you play?
All right, well-
what besides sports games?
Not much.
Okay.
Not much. Although I will say there were certain games like 007, GoldenEye.
Okay, never played it.
Oh man,
Oh.
that was like the best first person shooter game.
Really?
Now I didn't get into other ones after that. Like a bunch of my friends were into Halo and stuff, but like going back to the Nintendo 64 days. But even before that, the Super Nintendo, the original Mario Kart.
I never played it.
Oh man, they were
I
so good.
know,
They were so
yeah.
good. And then Mortal Kombat. My brothers were really into Mortal Kombat. And then NBA Jam. That was one of
Okay.
my favorites. So it was 2-on-2. So anyways, I bring that up to say in the old school video games, there used to be cheat codes that you'd have to
Right.
like find. This is like
Yeah.
even before internet,
Computer
you could go get
resource,
all of
yes,
that super easy.
totally.
I mean, this is the
Hearsay.
days where, yeah, if you're going on the internet, it's kicking somebody off the phone. You know what I'm saying? So you don't just get to just look up so your friends would tell you these cheat codes and you're punching them in to
Yeah.
then give you some advantage inside of the game. And like in NBA Jam, some of my favorites was like you could literally punch in a cheat code and you'd have Bill Clinton's head on Michael Jordan or whoever. I
my
mean,
goodness.
Michael Jordan wasn't in that game, but like,
Yeah,
it's just
okay.
hilarious watching Bill Clinton like slam dunk and break the glass on somebody. Like, ridiculous.
That's funny.
So, anyways, but they would give you advantages or get you ahead in the game. I have for the last several years found that there's two cheat codes that make the biggest difference in my dependence in God.
Oh yeah.
Like my dependence on him, my faith, and for us as a family, like we've
Yes.
seen this.
Yes.
These two things, like there's a lot of things that we do in our faith journey, and I don't highlight these. This is not me saying that these two things are more important than any other steps of faith that you
Sure.
have.
Yes.
I have just found that if I need a jolt in my faith, a boost, like if I need a
dependence
moment,
on the Lord.
yes,
Yeah,
where
yeah, yeah.
like I'm getting refocused on Him.
Yeah.
These two things do more for my faith than anything else.
Yeah.
One of them we're not going to go in depth to today. That is fasting.
Mm-hmm.
I've done a message on that at some point. I think it'd be great for us to do a podcast on that at some point.
You have more experience than me. I have been on a journey of babies. So
Well, it is funny. Like as
I've
I've
done
yeah,
fasting
fasting
very
was
much.
not something I grew up doing.
No, it wasn't. Yeah.
And almost every time that I've been on a fast, you've been pregnant or nursing a baby, so you couldn't
I
do a
literally
food
physically,
fast.
yeah, I couldn't. Yeah.
So you would engage in other ways.
Yes, I
digital,
would. Yeah,
whatever.
but you're talking about a food fast. You're not talking about.
I think
Right.
that's the strongest way. But
Yes.
but again,
Anyways,
another episode
that's
for another day.
Yes, right,
All
right.
Here's the second one.
Okay.
And I talked about cheat codes with fasting, but this second one, man, I think it is literally it does as much for my faith as anything else for my dependence on God and for us as a family.
I agree. Yeah.
And that is, we don't just like do things like fasting. We give and we give until it hurts.
Right.
Like it's that specific way. Like not just giving, but like giving until it is at this point. One of our pillars is give sacrificially.
Yeah.
A sacrifice costs something, and something that costs hurts. And so giving sacrificially, it's just been something in our family that we have just committed to.
Yeah.
Like, and we didn't start by giving until it
No.
hurts. We just started by learning how to give.
Yeah.
But giving until it hurts, it's like this deal of like, man, God, I don't trust my stuff to sustain me or to provide. I don't trust my money to give me happiness
Right.
or to be my security.
Yeah.
I'm literally putting it back in your hands to trust entirely on you. And so when we talk about giving sacrificially in the rescue mission, I believe that God will use everything we give to multiply it and give a greater return on any investment we could ever make.
Right.
That it's a kingdom investment that's going to impact lives and transform lives, that there's going to be people that find and follow Jesus because we trusted God in that way. Amazing.
Yeah.
But I also believe of the pillars, I think this one can have a massive impact on your faith journey.
Yes,
Like it can have
I
a
do agree.
massive impact on your dependence on God.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk about one of the most common things as a pastor that I hear from people who struggle with the idea of giving, especially giving to the local church. Okay, that like money is just one of these taboo topics.
It is. It's hard. People are
is.
tied to their money, and so it's hard.
They're tied to their money. Some churches have abused
Yes, this is true.
the way they steward money. So
Yes.
like totally want to just acknowledge that. That's
it's
reality. And so with that like feeling of like, man, like skepticism about churches and then pastors talking about money. It's this thing that a lot of like, I've seen a lot of just pastors and people just kind of avoid. And I think that's a disservice to you.
Yeah.
I think it's a disservice to our faith because again, I think this is one of the most powerful things you can do
I agree.
to grow in your faith journey. But here's one of the most common pieces of pushback I get if we talk about giving to the local church or we talk about tithing. It comes out of 2 Corinthians 9. And throughout this episode, this may be a couple episodes, but throughout these couple episodes, I'm going to later give some context that help us understand where this verse is, because a lot of people just pull this verse out. It's 2 Corinthians 9, verse 7. It says, you must each decide in your heart how much to give. Cool, great. Paul is talking to this church about how they engage in generosity. And by the way, again, I'm going to give context later. He's done a lot of explaining generosity and giving in chapter 8 that we aren't bringing to this verse yet that would absolutely help us understand what he's saying here.
Right.
But then he says, don't give reluctantly or in response to pressure. Totally agree. You should not be manipulated to give. It shouldn't be like a pressure thing.
Right.
But this is the part that everybody grabs. For God loves a person who gives cheerfully. We're supposed to give cheerfully.
Right.
Like God loves a cheerful heart with giving. And the thing I hear often is like, well, if I don't feel cheerful about it, or I'm not like excited or passionate about that thing to give to, and then they attach that thing being, if I'm not passionate about giving to the local church, well then I would be kind of stepping away from like, this is about cheerfulness and like, I want to
Speak to that.
I want to speak to that. I want to
Absolutely.
lightly challenge that. But I
Yeah.
also want to encourage you because if this idea of like sacrifice and giving may hurt, that means it may not always feel cheerful the way that we think of the word cheerful. It may not always feel like something I'm passionate or excited about. And yet, Paul is encouraging that we should have a cheerful heart towards giving. So what I wanted to do with this is kind of give us some tools and tips for how do we get to a place where we become cheerful about giving?
Yeah.
Like, how do you get to a place where you can start to feel passionate and excited about the idea of giving up a very important resource in your life? whether it's a portion or a lot or a little. Like,
Right.
how do you get to that place? So, wanted to kind of touch on that. So the first tip and tool, if you want to grow in giving, which I think will be a cheat code in growing in your faith. Okay, if you want to grow in that, number one, know who you're giving for.
Yeah.
Like, have that why. Know who you're giving for. Everything in your life carries more meaning when you have a why. And our rescue mission has been focused on an urgency and a sacrifice to help more people find and follow Jesus. But our hearts expand when it gets personal, when it becomes personal. So you want to read Luke 15?
Yeah, absolutely. So in Luke 15, Jesus is sharing some parables, but it's just 15:3-5. He says, so Jesus told him this story. If a man has 100 sheep and one of them gets lost, what will he do? Won't he leave the 99 others in the wilderness and go search for the one that is lost until he finds it? And when he finds it, he will joyfully carry it home on his shoulders.
Yeah.
So it's like, as far as our rescue mission and the why we personally have given to rescue mission is because we have those people who are that one where it's like, Lord, please rescue my, you know what I mean? Like family member, friend, coworker, employee, parent, like, you know what I mean? Like we have these people personally in our own lives where it's like, we want to be the first. I mean, we are the leaders, you know what I mean? But we also want to be the first ones to be like, yeah, we believe in that too. You know, we stand for that too. So I literally am blanking on what you said. You said rescue my...
Well, our rescue prayer is kind of like, God, rescue you fill in the blank.
Yes,
and
that's where I was hitting at.
I'm going to help you rescue someone else's. But what I've found in life, like if you I grew up in church, so I heard the whole leave the 99, chase the one my whole life, right? And sometimes when we hear something over and over and over, we can just kind of become desensitized to it. And then we can kind of get to like, well, the 99 are important too. And yeah, I totally agree. The 99 are important. But I heard somebody say, this is like a couple years ago, I just heard this statement about Luke 15, just understanding why the shepherd was so moved that he's willing to leave the 99 to chase the one. It's just a statement, the 99 is good enough until the one that's lost is yours.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, when the one that's lost is yours, it's your child, it's your sibling, it's your friend, all of a sudden, things change. And that whole idea of like, what is it going to take to rescue them?
Yeah.
Oh, all bets are off.
Yeah.
Totally
what is it going to cost me? It doesn't matter. I'm going to go find them. Yeah.
When we shared about this, I don't know if it was a year ago, but sometimes stories get into a message and somebody hears it, maybe others didn't. But one of my favorite stories that from our time in ministry is the time that we lost someone.
Yeah.
So
we go to Helen.
Okay. Yeah.
You set it up. No, you set it up better than I do. You set it up.
All right. So we were doing these, like it was summer, so we were doing some hangs, and
that's right. It was, yeah.
I think we took like several carpools to Helen, Georgia to go tubing. And apparently the rest of the Southeast is also tubing Helen.
Yes.
At the exact same time as us.
So full.
I've never seen so many people. I mean,
so many humans.
It was packed. And then we waited in line just to get like our ticket to get on a bus with a tube.
Right.
We waited in that line for over an hour.
It was so long.
Yeah.
There were so many people.
And how many did we take? Maybe 30 or 40?
I don't remember. But, I mean, it was like a handful from the church. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was like 30 or 40.
I mean, more than a handful.
Yeah. So, anyways, we get our ticket. Then we have to go from that line to another line to get on a school bus that's going to take us to the drop point, right?
Right. Yep.
So, we wait in that next line for another hour.
Yeah.
And right as we're about to get on the bus,
we realize we've lost someone. And it's this gentleman named Carl. He is, I mean, he's probably in his 50s or so.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a cell phone. Sweet guy, works at Waffle House. He would ride his bike to the church on Sunday mornings after he worked. And so, there was no way to like get in touch with Carl. Like, we brought him along. We were so glad he came.
And we're a drive away.
Missing. Yeah. Oh,
Well, and just at this point, we're just trying to figure out where is he.
Yeah.
So we're just like
he's probably going to the bathroom.
Yeah, everybody, where's Carl?
Yeah.
Where's Carl?
Yes.
So we start like asking, where's Carl? Where's Carl? And then we recognize we're not finding him anytime soon.
Anywhere. Yeah.
So we can't get on the bus.
Right.
So we're not about to leave.
Right.
So we're running and checking everywhere.
Like, where did he go to Wendy's? Did he go, like, literally?
Yeah. Well, I think we did go to Wendy's.
We did.
Yeah,
we walked the whole,
everywhere.
we went from the tubing place, walked to Wendy's, walked down the main strip. Like, we were trying to find Carl because there's no way to, like, get in touch with him. There was no way to, like.
Yeah, we're just like over and over. We're asking people to help. Hey, if you see a guy named Carl, tell him we're looking for him. I still remember. I remember this one point because it was just like hilarious to me. I don't know. We had been looking.
We had been looking for
well over an hour, maybe 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I remember this moment where we're like walking dejected, and we see this group walk up to us that we've never met or never seen, and they're like, "Did you guys find Carl yet?"
I remember that too. And we're like, "No. Have you seen him?"
So then half our group had to leave.
Yeah, because
they couldn't even stick around.
We spent so much time waiting in line, and then waiting in line, and then we were looking for Carl. So then it's like, I don't think we have time to go tubing now because tubing takes several hours. So it's like.
So then we decide, okay, well, let's hop in our cars and maybe drive to the drop-off point.
Yeah.
Maybe Carl got on a bus and maybe he's waiting over there.
Yeah.
And then there was traffic.
Oh,
that
it was
drive just to the drop-off point was maybe another hour.
It was so long.
I mean, it just felt like we were there all day
looking for Carl.
And I remember we were getting, we approached it. We got to that drop-off point. We looked. Guess who's not there?
Carl's not there.
Carl's not there.
Yep.
So now all of a sudden it's like, okay, I guess we're going to go back to Helen and try a little bit longer. But then we were at our end. We're like, we don't know what to do. Carl doesn't have a cell phone.
Yeah.
I don't know how Carl's going to get back from Helen. But I mean,
we've got to kind of go at this point.
Yeah.
Like it's getting later in the day.
But as a leader at this moment, this is like one of my biggest ministry fails I'm thinking like, no, in a funny way. I'm just like literally like, okay.
We lost someone.
I literally like the one job you have. Don't lose somebody in Helen. Like, this is crazy. So anyways, we're kind of dejected. And then on our drive back, there's more traffic. And I just remember we're up on this hill and we can kind of see down into a river. Everybody's floating. They're having the time of their life. And we're just like,
I'm in the bed of the truck and
it'd be so nice to be down there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, boom, there's Carl tubing down the river without us. Like we had
and
looked for him.
But you gotta, he's like, laid back, having the time of his life. Just like, oh man.
I've waited all day for this. I've wanted this. Yeah. And
which I didn't see Carl at first. None of us saw Carl at first. The first thing that happened to us is we heard you.
Y'all, I'm a loud human. I'm just loud in general. And so it's like, I see Carl. We look for him all day. And y'all, I got mad. And I was like, Carl! Get up here now! I was so...
It turned into Mama Bear.
It did.
You literally, no, you said, you get up here right now, Carl. That's how you said it.
And I think I was like early 20s. I think it was like 21 or something.
Oh,
and
yeah.
This is like this old, not older gentleman, but like...
Oh, you're letting him have it. I said, like, still other people that were with us that day.
They still make fun
like
of
Stacy
me.
and others.
Oh, my gosh,
they're still like, I know if I get on the wrong side of Katie, she's going to yell at me like she did Carl. I don't know. I still remember that moment. Like, it was wild.
Anyway.
But there was this Mom Bear moment. So anyways, we tell Carl, get out of the river.
Yeah, we're like, we're going home.
We're
going
gone.
back.
And we literally didn't go tubing that day.
Nope.
We went back.
Yep.
But everything about that day changed. Everything about our schedule changed because how could we just go on and tube, not knowing where Carl is, whatever?
Yeah.
You can't. When you have someone in your life that goes missing, you don't just carry on.
No.
And I think sometimes we forget how important the story of our lives are in the grand scheme of eternity. That when we talk about people that have not yet encountered Jesus, whether it is our son or our daughter or our friend or our coworker, we are talking about an eternity that they are separated from God. This should change everything about how we live. It should change everything about how we live. What happens is we have an enemy that I think one of his greatest tactics is to just distract us with, it's not that important.
Yeah.
Someone else will worry about it.
Yeah.
Someone else will give to it. Someone else will do it. And it's like, no, this is the reason we're still here. If you've already been saved by Jesus, you're not here because life's better here on earth.
Right.
If you think life's better here on earth, you still need to learn a ton more about heaven. Heaven's going to be way
So
better
cool.
than this.
Yeah.
The Apostle Paul, who like wrote a ton of the New Testament, that's passionate about this, he's like, man, to die is gain. Like, I can't wait to get to heaven. The best of our life is not going to be here. We're here on a mission. We're here on a rescue mission. Everything should change. When we have that mentality, all of a sudden, it doesn't matter what it costs.
Right.
It doesn't matter what it takes. It doesn't matter the sacrifice. And that happens at a greater level in our hearts where we can give cheerfully and say, I don't need the money for me. I don't need the stuff for me. I don't need my time for me. I don't need my life for me because I care so much about that one that's mine that's lost.
Yes.
That one that's mine that is lost. All throughout that series in the rescue mission, I just remember someone challenging me before it by talking about their kids and imagining if God had us with our 3, the 4th on the way, to look at our kids and say, okay, you get to pick, 2 to keep and 1 you got to let go. No way. No way.
No, it's opposite. Isn't it 1/3?
Yeah.
1/3 of people. So
anyways,
it's like pick
which
one and you don't get the other 2. Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Honestly, it doesn't matter.
If it's
No,
one of
because it's
there's not a chance. So anyways, if you want to grow in giving with a cheerful heart, have that why.
Yeah.
That's why that rescue prayer is so powerful, is to remind you, man, the lost people that God has called us to reach at Foothills, the people that we're helping find and follow Jesus, they are someone else's one that they're praying for. They're someone else's brother or son or daughter or sister or friend, like, or spouse. Like, they're the one.
Yes.
And so, man, I pray that God would use us at Foothills to give sacrificially, to make a way for those individuals that God has called us to rescue, to help them the way that I hope that people who are around the rescues in my life will do.
Yes.
And so, anyways, there's a couple other just helpful tips around giving sacrificially, but let's pause it here and we'll pick it up next week.